Hello, Movie Mavens. Welcome back to the B Movie channel. My name is Bailey, and I put the B in B movies. So, just to get some housekeeping out of the way, this was not my original Halloween costume, and I want to tell this story because it ties into kind of what Halloween means to me. So, this year, I got sick, and I'm fine. It wasn't COVID or anything like that. I'm fine. But I got sick for a few days, and it kind of threw off my Halloween groove because I couldn't really do a lot. And so with that, I was originally going to be Magenta, if I can speak, from Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I tried on the costume. It is very late. I am recording this video. It is officially Halloween. We never record this late, but like I said, I got sick, and it was just, I was down for the count for several days. And so I went to get ready for this video to record, and nothing about my magenta costume worked. The wig had these weird bangs that weren't in the picture. The French maid costume that I got 2 sizes bigger than I normally get, and it was like basically cutting off circulation on my arms, and the chest part wouldn't even lie flat. And so I am Roxy from Scott Pilgrim, obviously. I'm always bi-furious. That's just how I operate as an individual. And so I improvised because that's the beauty of Halloween. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about, because that's our piece that will be out now today, because it's 12:30 on Halloween, so happy Halloween. And so that's the thing about Halloween. Even though I was sick and I got a little bit like Lorelai does with Snow, where she gets sick of it, Halloween is still very good to me. And the beauty of Halloween is, since it's so important to me, I have so many wigs, I have so many costume pieces, that I was able to put this together. And I feel awesome in it. I feel very confident in it. And that's why Halloween has always meant so much to me. Is because as a kid, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. Like, I never went without. KP made sure of that. Like, I want that to be very well known that KP begged, borrowed, did anything she needed to do to make sure that I was provided for. I had everything I needed and a lot of what I wanted. But we just didn't have a lot of money. And I have always been how I am today. Sure, I have matured, and I have aged, and I have wisdom now, and I quit drinking too. For those who don't know, I've been sober for over 2 years. I've cut out alcohol entirely. I'm in a very good mental health place. And, for a few years I wasn't. That's fine. We all have our struggles. We're all on different timelines. No one has the exact same timeline. And so, being like I am, so picture me, hi, hello, in small town conservative Texas. And I had friends, but I wasn't what you would call popular. Definitely was teased. I'll put them on blast, I don't care. This is my YouTube channel. Several of those boys who tease me have slipped into my DMs as an adult to hit on me. Some haven't. But there are some that have. And I think that goes to show a lot. But on Halloween, I never felt less than. And I never fully felt like I fit in my hometown. But on Halloween I did. Because on Halloween, KP would make these beautiful homemade costumes. Like, even when I was a zombie schoolgirl, I was a zombie little kid, like a George A. Romero one, and KP did the full gray face makeup. I was Quail Man with like the underwear on the outside, and she made, I had a belt that like stood up, and you know, like I had the cape with the Q embroidered and the sweater vest and everything. And so that's why I love Halloween. Because I feel like if you grew up like I did, where you never felt like you quite fit in, you are a creative, you're more than likely queer. Halloween is it's for the gays. Like I'm I'm just gonna be really honest. If you ever felt like that, Halloween was that one night or that one time a year where you could just be whoever. And so tonight, even though my magenta costume did not work out at all because I didn't have time, because I was sick for about 6 days, so I didn't have time to try it out. Even though it wasn't that, I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, I have all this stuff for Roxy from Scott Pilgrim. I love Mae Whitman. I love Roxy's character. And I feel great. And that's the beauty of Halloween. You can make a homemade costume. You know, and it can be as elaborate or as simple, but as long as you feel good and, you know, you're obviously not going as anything insensitive or offensive, you feel good and you feel like yourself. And even if it's just that one night, you know, for if you're in a small town, like while you're waiting to get out or like while you're trying to figure yourself out, you have that one night a year to look forward to. And so this is not how I was originally going to start this video at all, but just after the 45 minutes of drama earlier, I was like, that's how I want to start this video out, because I wanted to talk about what Halloween was special to me. And I feel like this is a prime example because, again, I put this costume together in maybe 15 minutes and I feel awesome. So that's Halloween, baby. It's for all of my outcasts and weirdos and misfits and those creative souls. This is our day and our time to shine. So as long as you are not hurting yourself or anybody else, and you're, like I said, you're not going as anything offensive or hateful, go for it. And if you get a costume and you don't feel good in it, don't feel like, I'm the Halloween, right? Don't feel like you have to wear that big costume, because I not only did it not work, I didn't feel good in it. And I feel great in this. And that's why I love Halloween. So, again, this is not how this is not how I plan to start out this video, but happy Halloween. And remember, just feel yourself. So, now that I've given a pep talk I did not plan on giving, and we're here together, we're suffering through it, I have some cool stuff for you. So we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping after that very long-winded intro, and then I have some great stuff lined up for you today. So housekeeping-wise, this is just a reminder that starting this week, we're going to go back down to 5 pieces a week. So just Monday through Friday. And bite-sized Sundays. So the good news, bad news about bite-sized Sundays. Good news, bite-sized Sundays are going to continue. They're not going to be the same big curated lists every single week. However, we really enjoyed making those curated lists. So every month or so, we are going to throw in one curated list. So don't worry if you like them. It's not going to be every single Sunday, but like once a month or once every few weeks, we will have another curated list. But just a reminder that starting this week, if you're like, where's the Saturday piece? Saturday pieces were only for October. So with Bite Size Sunday, going back to normal, I do have a hint for you for this coming Bite Size Sunday. And this Bite Size Sunday's hint for those if you're new here, we tease Bite Size Sunday in these Friday videos, and Bite Size Sunday reviews live exclusively on Instagram. It's just at Big Movies channel, same as our YouTube. We tease them here. People probably get mad at how I tease them because I like to be cryptic because it's fun for me. Say lovey. So, the teaser for this Bite Size Sunday is maybe this footage should have stayed lost. No checkouts. Lose your reservation. And if you're like, what on earth are you saying to me? It'll make sense. And I would also like to mention, if you're new here, we tease the Bite Size Sunday usually in the Friday. So we usually don't have Tuesday videos. And I should have started with that. This is a special Halloween video. Usually our videos drop Fridays at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is just a special video. So there will also be a video Friday, which is where I usually would have teased Bite Size Sunday, but I just wanted to go ahead and tease it today, since this is the special Halloween video, and also we were already talking about Bite Size Sundays. So I'll tease it again on Friday, just in case anyone misses this video. But yeah, that's the teaser. So it will just be one piece of content this week. So I was also going to do a Q&A for this video. However, the only person that sent in a question was my friend Colton, who asked if we like jazz. Thanks, bud. I do like jazz, depending on the jazz. Very rarely, but sometimes I'm just in a jazzy mood. I was in jazz band in high school. So we will save the Q&A for later. But I do want to do a Q&A episode at some point, because I feel like y'all have got to have questions about me, about Elliot, about the B Movies channel. So we will save the Q&A for later. Thank you, Colton. Even though you asked, you like jazz. I originally did say in this video, I said last week, I did misspeak about one thing. I did say we would be talking about Project Earth today, but since Project Earth does not come out until tomorrow, which is technically today, because I'm filming this very late / very early on Halloween day, that will be in Friday's video. So on Friday, we will talk about the new Project Earth, because I'm very excited about it. If you've not seen the thumbnail, it's like of a creepy clown, and it's called Underground, and I'm very enthralled. I also, if you haven't signed up for the email list, definitely sign up for the email list, because I got an email a couple days ago, and Greg's best friend Tom is missing, and he seemingly got abducted by Terra Nova in a video when he was meeting with some people. So, yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for Project. We'll talk about that Friday. I also said I was going to review Graveyard Shift. Not Graveyard Shift, Skeleton Crew. Wrong. Stephen King. A novel. But anyway, so I said I was going to review Skeleton Crew. With me being sick and everything, I just did not have enough time to get through it. So I will give you a review when I finish it, but I don't want to review it until I'm done with it, and I'm not nearly as far as I thought I would be. So apologies there, but we will talk about that once I finish, and we will talk about Project Earth on Friday, so don't worry. We will also talk about on Friday, to tease it, Alex has finished The Muse. So we will also talk about the finale of Don't Feed the Muse, which I'm so excited. It's like half an hour long. I can't wait to talk about that with you on Friday. And if you haven't read up on it yet, I will link in Friday's video, because we have some other stuff to talk about. So in Friday's video, I will link the piece about Don't Feed the Muse. I will link the Project Earth piece and everything of that nature. Because today, now that I've spent time telling you what we're not going to talk about, let me tell you what we are going to talk about. because we have plenty to talk about and I'm very excited. So first and foremost, there's a new Greylock video. You're welcome, because it seems like every time I talk about it, we get a new video. So probably this video is going to go live tomorrow. Probably going to get a Halloween video. Would not surprise me. If so, we'll talk about it on Friday too. But we have a new Greylock video to talk about. We have Welcome Home updates to talk about. And in a B Movies channel first, I'm going to give you my review of FNAF, aka the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because since we're filming late, I was able to see it. And so I'm going to give y'all my exclusive review on it. So, we're still, even though there's a lot we're not talking about today, I still don't worry. I still have plenty of things to talk to you about. So, that should be enough housekeeping. We'll do the blog roundup on Friday, so that's why I'm not getting into the blog roundup or anything like that. But don't worry, we still have plenty to talk about. So, with everything aside, and this video is a little chaotic and I apologize, but here we are. Let's start with my FNAF review, because I want to end with Greylock, because I have a lot to say about Greylock. So let's start with my FNAF review. I teased it on my personal Instagram, which you can follow me at Lisa_Frankenstein_. But I'm not going to bury the lead. I enjoyed the FNAF movie. I think that this movie is a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because there are such diehard FNAF fans that I don't necessarily know if anything was ever going to placate the entire fan base. And just for context, it's not that I don't like playing video games, it's just something that, like, I prefer to watch playthroughs with video games and things of that nature. So I've watched all the playthroughs, I've watched multiple analysis videos, I haven't read the books, I haven't played the games personally, but I've watched all the playthroughs, so, like, that's where I stand with FNAF. Like, I know all the lore and everything. And so, I will say that I've not read the books and things like that. I know the books, I believe, are kind of like how the movie is, where it expands upon the lore. But I think it was a smart decision to expand upon the source material, because I think a direct adaptation would have been too much, and there was so much to get through with FNAF. I think it's like Stephen King. I think that it was a good idea for them to have done what they did, which is just expand upon the source material, combine some details, so on and so forth. I enjoyed all the Easter eggs throughout. Scream fans, I would love to hear your opinion, because I think at the end, without spoilers, I think some of Matthew Lillard's dialogue and actions, I think they're references to Scream. I'm convinced. There are a couple things I think are straight Scream references, which I really appreciated. I think Josh Hutcherson killed it. I personally really hope, for those who don't know, Matthew Lillard has confirmed that he is signed on for a trilogy. I would love to see a prequel next that really gives him time to shine, because I don't think this is a spoiler, but I'm going to give you a second to pause if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say. Because, Matthew Lillard is William Afton, who's the big bad. And outside of Scream and maybe one or two other things, Matthew Lillard doesn't tend to play the villain. And I think that they need to let him play around in that space a lot more. And I really hope for a prequel next, is what I'm really hoping, is the next film is going to be a prequel. I was also just blown away by the animatronics and the set and the attention to detail. So I enjoyed it. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. Again, I think there are going to be some people who hate it. and some of the reviews have not been good. I personally enjoyed it, and so what I will say is, if you're a fan of Blumhouse, if you are a fan of FNAF, and you have an open mind, I think you'll enjoy it. But just remember, there was no way they were going to be able to hit everything, because the movie was already rumored to be 3 hours long. And, I think that it would have just gotten out of hand if we tried to just do the source material. So that's my review. I enjoyed it. Just know going in, there are big detail changes. But I don't necessarily think they're detrimental. So that's my FNAF review. Yeah. So that's my exclusive review. I'm only going to talk about it in this video. So there you go. Next up, we have Welcome Home updates. For those who don't know, Welcome Home is a horror ARG. It's by Clown. It's so good. It's so masterfully done. There's so much craftsmanship and just passion and attention to detail put into this ARG. What we know so far, it was some sort of puppeted show from the 70s, and on Friday the 13th, we got some Halloween-y updates. It's not a lot, but it throws a lot of information at us. So there are a couple pieces of new merchandise on the site. There are some cookbook pages. There is a Wally Darling costume. And then most importantly, there's an audio book. It's a vinyl. Sorry, it's a vinyl. Hello, hi. What year is it? So it's an audio, so it's a vinyl. It's a storybook vinyl. And in the storybook vinyl, according to the text on the website and the manuscript, the Restoration Society says that the audio is missing. However, if you listen to it, the audio is not missing. And Sally tells us a very twisted tale of how there are creatures in the forest, and that's why the neighborhood isn't full of people. And she can hear the creatures at night and hear them growling, and it's it'll make your skin crawl a little bit. It's a 20-minute recording on the website. I can't recommend listening to it enough, but it's very telling of what these creatures may be up against. And it also, in the video that we'll get into in a second, we get another video from Wally's POV. It alludes to the fact this may not be a puppet show. These may be real beings. This may be a real reality that we're somehow tuning into. So, along with the storybook vinyl, if you go to the transcript, there's a little bug. And if you click on the bug, you get taken to a video from Wally's point of view. And in the video, there have been a lot of allusions to Wally having some sort of telekinesis, some sort of psychic abilities. His eyes being shown in the TV and kind of sucking the life out of people, or sucking energy, is what we've kind of toyed around with and been given little pieces of. But in the video, it's not dialogue from the vinyl. It's not an episode. So this is why I think that this is real. This is a real, Welcome Home is real. And so we're sitting there, and you can hear some background chatter, and we watch as I'm not sure if it's an entity and Wally is a vessel, or if it's Wally himself. The audio distorts. There's some negative imagery within the video, and there's an apple that he's watching for one of the characters, and suddenly a bite is sucked out of the apple and it looks like a shadowy figure is doing it. And so it's either Wally is a vessel for this thing, this entity is one of the creatures Sally talked about in the story, but either way, it doesn't look like it's staying outside anymore. And so those are the updates. I can't recommend enough going to the site to especially listen to the story, because it's the audio. Like, Clown has just outdone themselves. It's truly incredible. So I can't recommend enough going to the site and listening to the recording and then watching the video from Wally's POV. And on the website, it does say we should be getting more updates in the holiday season. So I personally can't wait. We'll update the blog and we'll talk about it more here. So those are our Welcome Home updates. And then finally, we have another Greylock video. And this video, it's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds. But after tape 10 was a thick boy. And so I think it's more than fair to have a follow-up small video. So we start with another 13, the WARF TV update, whose logo I just noticed, and I would like to point this out. It's a pyramid or a mountain with an eye in the middle, which I think is an allusion to Mount Greylock and its hidden horrors. So I would just like to point that out, because that is something I just noticed this time, is that the logo for the television station is like a pyramid or a mountain with an eye in the middle. And so I very much think, yeah, and like we learned when we heard like when Arnold was giving his like audio interview, or like leaving his records, we learned that there was a lot of hieroglyphics and that this was ancient. So I very much think that that's intentional. I digress. We're given the programming blocks again, and they clearly align with what's happening in the video. And we're shown that the next segment up is at 3 a.m., which, like, we all know what 3 a.m. is. And it's called Inside These Walls, episode 139, Basement Renovation. And it's described as a home renovation project that brings a new spirit to an old basement. And I see what you did there, Rob, because that's what we're doing. So we have the programming screens up. We have that generic Weather Channel music in the background. Both begin to distort. And we're shown someone opening a basement door. And I would like to say, because I think this alludes to the fact it's not the same person we've seen previously. They're not wearing black gloves. And I think this is a different person. I think this is Alexander. I think the black glove person is Milgram, and I think that Melgren. Don't know what happened there. My brain was just like, nope. I think that the person in this video is Alexander. And I think that Melgren is in the other ones. That's what I'm officially landing on. So this person, they open a door to what appears to be, in my opinion, it looks like a cell. And this person barricades the door shut with a wooden plank, leaves it there for a second, and then opens it again. The video distorts, and we see that same overlaid image from tape 10, where it looks like the ritualistic candles in a circle, and the ritual continues to overlap with the basement footage. And then we cut to a tape player that's being plugged in, and the tape being played is the sound of someone crying. So here are my theories. I think this person is Alexander. I think the crying on the tape is Tiffany, because it sounds like the same crying from the morgue. And I think this is the basement of Tiffany and Alexander's house. I will even be so bold as to claim that this little room is the room Tiffany saw in the vision she described in tape 10 when she was a child. It also seems like this might be, I think it's called absentia, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Where you have to go through the tunnel and you make a trade. I think Alexander closed the door, and when he reopened it, the tape player appeared. That's what I think he was trying to get. So, those are my theories. I think this is Alexander. I think this is their house. Or Tiffany's childhood house. Either one. But I think that this is connected to Tiffany. I think that that's the crying on the tape. And I'm so stoked. Because again, I've talked about it. Every time I talk about it, a new video comes out. And with it being Halloween, would not surprise me if we didn't get a new video. So I'd just like to say, Rob Gavigan, like, you are the master. This keeps getting better and better. I've been on the edge of my seat since the very beginning. And again, also since I'm recording this advance, I'm sure we'll have another video to talk about soon, because it seems like every single time that I talk about Greylock, we get a new video. So I'm looking forward to it. And so I will link, I've updated the Welcome Home piece. So I'll put that in the description box. I'll put the Greylock piece in the description box. And I will go ahead and link Berry's channel below as well, so that you can watch Welcome Home. And I'll link Alex's channel below as well, so that you can watch Don't Feed the Muse for next week. And I'll also put them in the description box next week, since we're talking about them. So yeah, this video was so much longer than I thought it was going to be. Because I was like, I'll just do like a quick little Halloween video, and we're like 30 minutes in. But I just want to say, to wrap up, thank you. This has been the first October for B Movies, obviously, and y'all have been so supportive, and you've really come through on watching videos. Shout out to Vintage 8, commented on our video about them, and I love them, and so thank you so much, Vintage 8. Oh my goodness, Elliot and I both freaked out, but just thank you for being so supportive for this first Halloween season, you know, doing 6 days of blogs and then a bite-sized Sunday. It was a lot, but we had so much fun doing it and planning it. We've already started planning the editorial calendar for B Movies for 2024, and we have some really good stuff coming up, and I'm really excited for the new year, but we still have some great stuff coming up this year as well. Next month is when the famous Fast and Furious piece will drop, where I watch all the Fast and Furious pieces for the same time. Can't wait for y'all to read that. Can't wait for y'all to read the Dollar Tree piece, where I watched a bunch of Dollar Tree bargain bin horror movies. But I just want to say thank you, because going out on my own like this with Elliot, obviously, was scary, and I didn't know how this was going to go. But it's going so much better. I say this every week, but I enjoy making these videos so much for you. I enjoy making all of this content for you to consume, and just people have been so supportive, and thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, again, just a reminder, this is a special Tuesday video. We have videos coming out every Friday. There will be another video on Friday, because I love you all. So there will be another video here on Friday. And I think all that's left to do is to say happy Halloween and fade to black.